Hey, good morning. I want to make a little message here to encourage you on what I'm doing here. And I just wanted to fast, find the fastest path to liberating myself from the things that don't belong to me. Just habits that I have adopted that my system tells me this is not for you. And if you see other people do it, give them a high five, but don't participate in those activities. Give yourself what you really need. Let your body guide you towards the things that are best for you, and develop this savage healthy obsession um, to feel better, like to be more relaxed, at ease with your well-being. It's a big contrast to stressing to when you realize are things that you've been dealing with for years, probably since your university age. You know, the right after college years, you've probably started struggling with things around that time, and you've never really had a grasp over certain things since that point in your life, right? So isn't it time to maybe understand why you've always been struggling with these things? And that's why I'm fasting for. It just kind of like gives me the willpower that I've always had. Like if I told myself I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to eat, right? Now I'm getting to test the strength of my word. Can I say something and it happens? Can I take myself seriously? And I think that's the most important thing that you could get in a fast. You could take yourself seriously now. When you say something, it's going to happen. If you don't say something, it's not going to happen, right? So giving this creative power to myself is the greatest tool of self-empowerment. I'm not going to say anything anymore, right? Because I know that if I say something, there's kind of like this momentum for me to accomplish it. So don't say things that you don't really mean, right? And mean the things that you're saying, right? So that means I thought about it. I got to reflect. I got to take have a engage a slow process of my mind to analyze what I want and don't want. And there's certain things in my life I'm sick and tired of and I don't want anymore. But it wasn't just that. It was helping other people understand how they could liberate themselves from that. So the more that you kind of attach yourself to the way that you've always lived, the way that you perceive the world to be, the expectations that you have with fitness, nutrition, you got to toss all of those things in the garbage to realize that there's too many people trying to tell you what is good for you or not. And the most important person within you, you're not paying attention to that. And I think that's what I'm fasting for, because it's giving me the power to take a step back and to think for myself. What is the thing that I want to engage myself in for the rest of my life? Do I really want to lose weight and start like trying to bargain with things that are just going to make it harder for me to look good and feel good every day in my life? The, sorry, the foods that you crave, the activities that you crave, pull you away from the way that your body really wants to express itself. So let's see yourselves like as aliens. Like let's stop seeing yourselves like in this pre-made category of what we've seen around. Let's try to see ourselves as we have a spiritual origin that is combined that combines different cultures that exist on this planet. And it's by opening our minds and allowing ourselves to see what everything that's out there, we could choose to develop what we already are. You have to be able to feel and sense what's going on inside and what already exists out there as ingredients to the unique recipe that you are. You have to develop what you really are to really enjoy the things that you really want to do, right? So what are you and what do you really want to do? So my fast year is great, and that's my summary for it. I lost 10 kilos so far in 3 days. And it's just because my body knows that it's not supposed to be overweight. There's a way I think about myself. There's a self-realization that I have of my potential and what it can accomplish. And that enables my body to want to run back to that ideal state that it knows that it is. It doesn't recognize itself as anything else than my ideal body of mind and physical looks good. Like the way I think looks good, the way I feel feels good, and the things that I do feels in alignment with my heart and the way I'm thinking clearly. So I want to think better, I want to feel better, and I want to be proud of the actions that I do. I know that I was in alignment with my greatest ideals, and I haven't pushed back on my desires. I haven't procrastinated on things that matter to me. So, are you willing to give your willpower a boost? Right? This is why I'm doing it, because I have an unfair advantage now. Every time I fast, my cells in my body become more resilient. I could do more things without eating now. I could do more things without suffering now, right? So people have got accustomed so much to eating. They feel that they can't function well if they don't eat, but they don't even realize that what they're eating is not helping them to function better. Calories are not created equally. not all calories are the same. You really got to focus on what type of calories are going in your body will affect the way you have a certain mood. It will affect your actions, it will affect your willpower, it will have the strength, it will affect the strength of your mind. There's so much, everything is affected by what you eat, and all those things affect your hormones. So if you feel all over the place, well, you got to understand maybe what you're eating is all over the place. Maybe you never understood the nutrition that you needed to give to yourself. And it's not by reading books for 20 years you're going to do it either. It's simpler than you think. And we make things complicated by trying to keep things that were familiar to us in our lifestyle as if they're supposed to be there. They're not supposed to be there. If you put junk pieces that belong to a boat in a house as you're building the house won't be able to be solid because there's parts that don't belong in a house that belong to something else that you're trying to put there. On a boat, it might be fine. But in a house, it doesn't make sense to build the foundation of a house with those pieces as they are. They would have to be like destroyed and rebuilt to fill the model requirements of a house. And that's what you have to do with whatever's around you. You destroy them and you recreate the use in a way that serves you, right? Give you an example. My mom used to cook rice and vegetables. I knew that I didn't need to eat all that rice. I already had my carbohydrates for before my workout. It's after my workout, I don't need that much energy. I could rely more on carbohydrates that are low in calories and high in nutrients, which are vegetables. So I bombarded myself with an ecstasy of flavor in the form of vegetables. And if, let's say, I need to create myself a meal and all I had was this too much rice and vegetables, well, then I took the ratio of vegetables that was there and I made that the ratio of rice most people would have. And then the little bit of vegetables that people put on the top, that's what I did with the rice. I took whatever resources that I had and I transformed it into what I understood would serve me. Do you really think I'd struggle with my weight and with my appearance at that time? Of course not. I took whatever was around me and I transformed it into whatever I understood is going to serve me. So I never struggled with the struggles that people had. I had to force inject myself these foods so that I understand the struggles of other people, to be like, why are people still struggling with this? They haven't made the test yet. They haven't made the test of give yourself the pleasure of the best foods, enjoy them, savor them with at their best variation, and then go back to whatever you enjoyed. And you're going to see that it doesn't make you feel the same at all. One keeps you down. There's an excitement of when you're going to eat it. But once you have it, you're like, you're not there anymore. Fasting, I have more energy than the foods that I used to eat that don't serve me and that a lot of people are a little bit too familiar with. So what are we really doing to ourselves? Are we like actually ruining the future by not leveling up and understanding that there's so much things poisoning us today that don't bring us lasting joy, and then we keep them there and we're trying to make room for it, right? And now the forces within ourselves that are supposed to protect us are not hurting us because we're not giving them what it needs. There's a type of fuel that your system needs and you're not getting it, so you'll never have the best version of yourself. And the proof of it is by not eating, you have more than when you were eating garbage. And that's what I have right now. Look, 3 days without eating. I'm not struggling at all, right? My focus is there. So I'm here to allow you to question everything you've been doing. And if you've been struggling with certain things, maybe it's because the recipe that you're using, your lifestyle, your understanding of where you need to put your effort is outdated for the challenges that you have in your life right now. The challenges that you have in your life right now have a outdated strategy that you think, oh, by having this little thing here or this little thing there, finally all my answers are going to be solved, while you realize that there's a deeper battle within that you've been losing for too long. It's time to win that battle. It's time to start feeling proud of yourself, not just by what you were forced to do, but what you enjoyed to do, what you set time aside to do and to savor, right? Every moment of your day, you found a way of enjoying it sincerely, and it makes you wise, right? So if I can't be wise and have this 4-season wellness, then what am I really trying to teach children by being so strict with them, when I don't even have any real discipline myself with the things that matter the most to my health and to my future prospects? If I'm sick, it doesn't matter all the techniques of money that I have if I never am able to discipline myself over the passions that I have that don't serve me. I have to make those passions serve me. So let's start transforming everything that we got into everything that we need. All right. So have a wonderful day, everyone. I thank you for being there today. And thank you for encouraging me in what I'm doing, but I'm doing this for other people. I don't need to do this for myself. I'm showing to other people I could do this. I love this. I'm in love with feeling better. I'm in love with feeling lighter. I'm in love with feeling more in alignment with who I am, and feeling a greater insurance of the unknown. I have a greater insurance with assurance in no matter what happens, I know I'm going to be better. I know I could be better than the challenges that come my way, but I must make sure I don't throw myself in the direction of things that will never serve me. Can I fall in love with what has always served me, such as the uncomfortable feelings that I get are serving me? All right? They're serving me. And the foods that I was comfortable with are not serving me. Can I create something that I'm proud of, where I was responsible with my life, with the life that's within me, and the life that I get to breathe into other people through my example? Remember that it's only your example that could help people. Are you doing it or you're not doing it? Are you consistent or you're not consistent? Whatever it is, that's what you are at this present moment. And when a critical situation happens, we're going to see what you're really made of. All talk, right? Or you're the real deal. Are you the real deal? Well, don't try to climb a mountain that's too high. But daily, walk whatever mountain's given to you. You'll only get better and be stronger from one day to another. When I fast, I get stronger from it, right? And I'll let you on this note. I do the exercise in the morning. That could be 10 to 20 minutes. I walk 50 minutes to work. I work 5 hours of 4 hours of nonstop labor, 4.5 hours of nonstop labor. So I have to pace myself to not burn myself out because I'm not eating, right? And then after 5 hours of work, I walk 50 minutes back home. So it's almost like I'm walking about 6-7 kilometers a day, working 5 hours a day, fasting. I wasn't able to do that. I remember the first time I fasted, I think I walked away 200 meters away from the house I was living in at that point. I sat on a bench. I was so exhausted. I went back home and I was like, I can't do anything. But look at what I could do today. Whatever you practice, you'll be better at it. So don't discourage yourself with what appears to be hard. What's hard is never having the life that you already have. You are never able to live it. All the vitality, the potential, the beauty, the simplicity there is in what you are, right? So let's discover all of ourselves one day at a time, and let's start leaving the standards that we grew familiar to, and let's just get inspired by it and override it without feeling above other people, but just as guides of, well, if you're struggling, you could look at what I'm doing anytime. I don't have to tell anyone what to do. But if you want to get the results I have, you could look at what I'm doing at any time, and you could ask me questions, right? But don't talk about things. I do them. And I wanted to really challenge myself as much as possible to be like, can I sense if I'm healthy in a situation where it's very easy for me to do something really wrong and get sick and catch COVID right now? They tell you don't fast in winter. I fasted in summer last time. Well, now I'm fasting in winter. They said not to do it. Well, why? Because there's more germs in the air. Your immune system could be weaker. Your sleep could be less. Okay, well, what if I could take care of my sleep 10 on 10? Can I do it then? What if I'm listening to my body? Is my body going to guide me when I should sit down, when I should keep going? Yeah, it does. So it's an evolution with the connection I have with myself. I know when I'm going to get sick. Like before it happens, my body hints me, you should put more clothes on. No, don't worry, I don't care. It doesn't matter who told you to wear a hat. You don't need a hat today. Why? Because I'm actively getting the sensation that I got this, so I don't have this. And so the moment it starts, changing, I notice the changes in me, and I could adapt. So can you notice the changes in you and adapt? But I'll tell you what, if the same thing's been happening over and over again, you might not be noticing certain details. So I hope that you could break away from the things that have been holding you back and embrace the things that were always willing to take you to the next level. Take care, everyone. Until next time.